Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Dave, and if you feel like Jakob Hawk because you got a mirror on the desk, you can call me Daveypoo, the mobile music minstrel. How you doing? Hey, so my iPad has decided that it is not going to screen record today, so we're going with Plan B. I've got some Somek here for all you Koreans out there, and I'm taking it a little slower than the typical Daveypoo intensity because, the last video took me 8 takes to do, which is very atypical for me. So I'm moving a little slower today. So thanks for joining me. How you doing? Today we're going to talk about Imaginando's FRMS. FRMS is a granular synthesizer, and that's not a synthesizer that typically resonates with me very much. What I mean by that is I've had a hard time with other granular synths that I've used in the past finding ways to apply them musically in the music that I like to make. I typically like to make funky grooves in pop music, funky grooves in jazz music, funky grooves in funk music, in soul music, but everything I do comes from that kind of a pocket place. And so I like nice and tight things, and I don't do a lot of ambiance and ambient music. When I do, I make bloops and bleeps and sound design on my own, and then I pack it away and I make another tune. And the songs are what I like to share with people. I don't feel like I do ambient music well. I have struggled with other granular synths in the past, and I have found this to be far more accessible and usable than others that I have tried. So let's dive in, but before we do that, I just want to tell you that I just launched a Bandcamp page, daveypoo.bandcamp.com, and I have 9 albums that I've been recording over the last 20 years that are finally all available in one place, and they're all 100% free for you to download and listen to. So please go and listen to the tunes, tell me what you think, share them with your friends. They've been dying a slow death on my hard drive for ages, and I would much rather that they be living in your ear hole than dying on my hard drive. So please go, daveypoo.bandcamp.com. Enjoy them. I've got like 4 more albums coming soon, and it's a whole variety of projects. It's, sometimes I'm just the bass player, sometimes I'm doing everything, engineering and producing and playing all the instruments and writing. It's all different styles of music. So I hope you dig it. Go check it out. Back to Imaginando's FRMS. The way this thing is laid out is you've got 2 sections that are identical here at the top of the bottom, and they both have the same controls. Waveform, control, envelope, matrix, modifiers, and global. Okay? What's good about this is that you're able to display things in whatever way makes sense to you and fits you best. The difficulty I had initially was that this was not intuitive. It took me a while to figure out what the heck was going on. But once I did, then it all clicked, and I completely understood. So you have 4 different layers here, which end up being equivalent to, say, 4 oscillators on a subtractive synth or 4 operators on an FM synth. Okay? So I'm going to set this back to where it was, control on the bottom, and waveform at the top. We're on layer 1. You're not going to hear anything if I bang away on my Arturia Minilab here, because I haven't loaded a sample. So let's do that. I'm going to load one that I did. Let's do this one here. If I do that. Great. Okay. So down here, under the control section, are the controls for the grains in this synth. It's active on. If I come over here to where it says window, this is showing me the envelope of each individual grain. So let's turn down the density so we get less grains at a time. And we're going to turn up the size so each grain has further to travel. Now, I've set the envelope to be non-existent, so it's a very hard attack right now. If you pull back on it, you get that sort of fade in. I'm going to do, down here, I'm going to ping-pong it. Now, you can choose offset. No, I'm going to do that. That's nice. Now, density, let's see. And if I want to add more notes, now you can change the way the size is. It can be absolute or sync. Oh, I think this is the best way to show it off here. I like that. That gives it a kind of a ripply. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm spreading out the amplitude so not every note is playing at the same loudness. We'll spread out the stereo. And then you've got randomizers here that help. See, I love sound designing with this stuff, but I have a hard time reining it in because I think I end up get carried away. All right, let's dial those back. That's a little more usable. Okay, then I'm going to add some reverb down here. If I go up to, either one of these, if I go over to global, I guess, I'm going to mess with the reverb. I'm going to give it a little less. I like that. That's nice. Okay. I think that's good. That's good for layer 1. Okay. I'm going to go back to control. I'm going to turn it off. Now you won't hear anything. I'm going to go over to 2. I'm going to load another sample. Let's go to... let's go with that one. Offset. Now let's go for something different, totally different with this one. Let's go to global. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to the control before I get too carried away. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with a heart attack. Let's see. Let's drop this down an octave and hear what it sounds like. Okay, so now let's hear what that sounds like with 1. So you can see how, as you add more layers, you can get richer and richer sounds. Let's add one more. We'll go quickly here, since you've already seen a lot of this. Go back to waveform, download. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I want to turn off that, and I want to turn off that. Yes, let's do this. Ooh, that's nice. So I'm thinking if I add a little bit of reverb and a little delay, it'll maybe bring those other two parts a little more together, and it's up an octave. It's a little crispy here. Now, let me show you one last thing. If you go to the let's go to 4 here, and let's go to control, and this is going to be an oscillator. So then this acts just like a regular subtractive synth. So anyway, I'm getting carried away because it's a lot of fun to play with, and that's exactly my point. I'm having a lot more fun with forms than I've had with a lot of the other granular synths. This one just does it more for me. It makes the sounds, I don't know, more consonant, if that makes sense. I find ambient music hard to make because I get bored easily, and I also like things with structure. That's why I like pop music. That's why I like funk music and R&B and all these standard song forms. I like structure. I like songs. I like, things that you can walk away humming. And so I think there's a place for all that other music, but there are guys that are making that way better than me. But of all the synths that tend to appeal to those styles of music, this one is a little more tactile for me. I can sink my fingers and my teeth into it a little bit more and make something a little more musical for me out of it. So that I really like. I'm not a big fan of the vector kind of aesthetic, the flat design. I prefer skeuomorphism. So on the first glance, this wasn't super appealing to me, but as I dug into it, I see the value, and I really enjoyed playing with it. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this search through forums. Thanks, Imaginando, for reaching out to me. This was a whole blast to play with. I really enjoyed it. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to know more. Please go to daveypoo.bandcamp.com and download 9 albums. And there's 4 more coming out in the next few weeks. So you'll have 13 albums of music to listen to totally free of charge. All the way from my wee beginnings as a singer-songwriter all the way through stuff that I did in the last 6 months. And you can go see me on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Patreon, where you can support the channel if you want me to do more stuff like this. And that's all I got to say today. I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you guys next freaking time. Later.